Have you ever known you should let something go, yet your body refuses to cooperate? Most people assume that letting go is a decision of the mind. But what if the real reason you can't release what's hurting you has almost nothing to do with willpower and everything to do with something much older and more intelligent? What if your nervous system is still protecting you from a danger that no longer exists? For thousands of years, the ancient seers observed this same struggle. They understood that the human system resists release when it doesn't feel safe. Today, we finally have the language to explain why this happens, and more importantly, what actually makes letting go possible. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to share 21 laws of nervous system regulation. These are not techniques to force yourself into peace. They are deeper truths about how your body and mind actually work. When you understand them, the exhausting battle with yourself begins to soften. Let's begin with the foundation. The first law is this: safety is the prerequisite for release. Your nervous system will not allow deep letting go if it still senses threat. No amount of positive thinking can override this. The body must first feel safe enough to stop protecting what it believes it needs to hold. The second law is that the body leads and the mind follows. You can intellectually understand that something needs to be released, but if your body is still in a protective state, the mind's agreement means very little. Real change happens from the bottom up. The third law is that force creates resistance. When you try to make yourself let go through sheer willpower, the nervous system often interprets this as another threat. The grip tightens. Gentle, consistent presence dissolves resistance more effectively than intensity ever could. The fourth law is that regulation is rhythmic, not linear. Your nervous system responds to rhythm and repetition. Small, consistent signals of safety compound over time. One dramatic attempt at release rarely works as well as daily micro-moments of presence. The fifth law is that breath is the fastest bridge between body and mind. Slow, conscious breathing directly communicates safety to the deepest parts of your nervous system. It remains one of the most reliable ways to shift state when you feel stuck. But here's where it gets interesting. Even when people understand these first principles, many still struggle. The reason is that there are deeper layers most teachings never address. The sixth law is that co-regulation is biologically wired. Humans are designed to regulate in complete isolation. Safe connection with others, or even with nature, can help the nervous system settle in ways that solo effort sometimes cannot. The seventh law is that tension is often protection in disguise. What you experience as resistance to letting go is frequently your body's intelligent attempt to maintain safety. When you stop fighting this intelligence and begin working with it, something important shifts. The eighth law is that presence burns attachment more cleanly than rejection. Sitting with what is here without trying to push it away generates a quiet inner heat that gradually transforms what no longer serves you. From the 11th to the 15th law, the same principle continues. Your nervous system needs rhythm, safety, and gentle repetition. It integrates during rest, not during constant striving. It responds better to offering than to force. It learns through direct experience rather than ideas alone.
The 11th law is that rest is productive. The nervous system integrates and reorganizes during states of rest and safety. Chronic pushing prevents the very changes you are trying to create. The 12th law is that boundaries support regulation. Clear, kind boundaries reduce the constant low-level activation that comes from overexposure or unclear limits. They are a form of self-regulation. The 13th law is that emotions are waves and the body is the ocean. Emotions arise and pass. When the nervous system is regulated, it can ride these waves without being swept away or needing to suppress them. The 14th law is that comparison dysregulates. Constantly measuring yourself against others keeps the system in a state of subtle threat. Returning attention to your own direct experience supports regulation. The 15th law is that nature recalibrates the nervous system. Time and natural environments provides rhythmic, non-threatening sensory input that helps restore balance more effectively than many artificial interventions. The 16th law is that micro-moments matter more than grand gestures. Brief returns to presence throughout the day build regulatory capacity more sustainably than occasional intense practices. The 17th law is that grief and release are related but not identical. True letting go often requires feeling what was held. Suppressing difficult emotions in the name of moving on can keep the nervous system locked in protective contraction. The 18th law is that the system protects what it once needed. Many of the patterns we now want to release were once adaptive. Approaching them with respect rather than judgment reduces internal resistance. The 19th law is that integration happens in safety, not in striving. Lasting change occurs when the nervous system feels safe enough to reorganize. Urgency and pressure often recreate the exact conditions that keep old patterns in place. The 20th law is that you cannot outrun your nervous system. No amount of spiritual bypassing or positive thinking can permanently override a dysregulated state. The body must be included in the process. And the 21st law is this: letting go is the natural outcome of sufficient safety and presence. When the nervous system no longer needs to grip for protection, release happens more organically. It stops being something you force and becomes something that becomes possible. These 21 laws reveal something important. The difficulty you feel when trying to let go is not a personal failing. It is your nervous system doing exactly what it was designed to do: protect you. The path forward is not more force, it is more understanding, more safety, and more patient presence. When you stop treating your resistance as the enemy and begin working with the intelligence of your own system, something remarkable happens. The grip loosens, not because you finally won the battle against yourself, but because you finally stopped fighting. If this perspective resonates with you, consider which of these laws you feel most in your body right now. The real work is not to memorize all 21. It is to begin living even one of them with sincerity. This is the deeper foundation behind true letting go. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.